All right, Sean Hannity said about 40 minutes ago, this is one of the treatments that they think is going to be very effective.
Solutions. We're innovative. We're creative. We are the United States of America, the greatest country God gave man. We're blessed to live here. Yes, one nation. Well, we're endowed by a thing. A thing. That's, the thing. God that creates everything. Speaking of which, U.S. doctors and scientists, this is the big news tonight. They are seeing success with new treatments, experimental treatments. On my radio program, one of those doctors detailed his very important progress. Here's what he said. You've had a 100% success rate.
Well, I define success as not having to go to the hospital since hospitals are overwhelmed right now. So I've treated aggressively these patients, and I've seen remarkable results. Within the shortness of breath issue resolves within 4 to 6 hours.
Now, this doctor published that he and his, team have now treated patients with that regimen. None of them died. None of them were hospitalized. He now has 350 test cases that he's referring to. Now, similar methods are now being tested all over the world. For example, researchers in France, they have released a preliminary study showing how a combination of hydroxychloroquine and antibiotics could be used to mitigate symptoms of those impacted with the virus and heal them quicker. And one more good piece of information. We learned today at the president's press conference with his task force that young people, thankfully, are not dying of coronavirus. A prominent Nobel laureate biophysicist from Stanford modeled the outbreak and is now predicting that a fairly quick end to this pandemic. And he predicted accurately everything that was going to happen in China. And we have more good news. As of March 18th, there have been 0 fatalities from children and only 1 death of 1 teenager worldwide. Whew. We're getting nervous based on the new numbers. First, we were told up until about a week ago that it wasn't impacting kids. Then we hear it is. That makes it more scary. That is good news tonight. This is a serious disease, as I said, back January 27th. Got to take it seriously. But we're going to get strategic, and we're going to find solutions. You can't panic. Now, we have more good news coming up and more facts without fear. But first, joining us with the very latest from Capitol Hill is our own Chad Pergram. Chad, I thought they had a deal. I thought that they might work together and they might put aside petty partisan differences and help American workers, small business, and these companies, big companies, devastated. I guess I'm wrong.
There was a level of anger on the Senate floor today, Sean, that I've probably not seen since 1995. It reflected the tension that senators are feeling as they struggle on both sides of the aisle to pass this bill. Also, senators are concerned about their own health. They don't have an agreement yet. Just a few minutes ago, the Senate went out of session, and Chuck Schumer, the minority leader, said they continue to negotiate. But he says, quote, the list of outstanding issues has narrowed. Keep in mind that Steven Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, would not continue to bargain with Schumer if there wasn't a deal to be had. And this evening, a senior GOP source told me, quote, as long as the White House keeps the checkbook open, Democrats will keep taking things. Now, what we think is going to happen is that Mitch McConnell is going to try.
As long as the checkbook's open, the Democrats will keep taking things. That's it right there. Move forward.
Will not sell at the ballot box. Impeachment blew up in their face. They're playing with political fire. Democratic senators are not going to play this game much longer. This is driven by Nancy Pelosi. We had a deal basically done until Nancy Pelosi came back from California. And they're telling every nurse and doctor in the country, your health care supply needs give way to mandatory same-day voting. They're telling everybody who's been laid off and drawing unemployment, you can't get $600 more in unemployment because we want to be carbon neutral with the airlines by 2025. Boy, you're talking about people who've got their priorities wrong. This is going to blow up in their face. This is going to pass tomorrow. The Democratic Party can't play this game any longer.
I'll re-rack that.
This is going to pass tomorrow, he says. We'll see. I'm going to leave it here. I just think it's
and they're watching the Democrats do this to them. In my entire life of elected officials, I have never seen such selfishness in these individuals. They rather put a liberal wish list instead of the well-being of this country.
You know, first I got to tell you, it takes my breath away, because we rebuild Europe, we defeat evil across the globe. No country, Lindsey Graham. Oh, by the way, Kevin, don't ever let Lindsey forget he was once in your house. Some might argue he's demoted. There's never There's never been a country in the history of man that Barry Farber says accumulated more power, abused it less, I add, and used it to advance the human condition more than this one, Lindsey. Are we on the verge of saving the world again?
Well, failure's not an option. This is worse than 9/11 for the country, and our Democratic colleagues are acting like it's just business as usual. Cram as much crap in a bill
I don't know
as
if you should say that, because people are going to
pass.
say Lindsey Graham said it's worse than 9/11. Both of them are horrific. Let's say that.
Yeah. Well, let me speak for Lindsey Graham. I think in many ways this is worse than 9/11. We're talking about having the entire economy shut down for a very long time. We're talking about people completely out of business with no paychecks coming. We turned around after 9/11 really quickly and built the economy, put in place things to keep us safe. 6,000 soldiers went off to die. We all came together. I'm just so disappointed, like Kevin said. I cannot believe that we're letting this happen to the American people because the mob is in control of the House. That's what this is about. But the president's done a terrific job. If we can pass this bill, it will give us time to be more aggressive against the virus.
Thank you both for being with us. We appreciate it.
If we can pass this bill, quote unquote, we'll see. Things have to be done at the ballot box, people. You either wake up and get these people out of office, or we're going to keep getting these disruptions in the next 4 years. President Trump trying to get stuff done, and these idiots just screwing things up. Good day.